Well, good afternoon. Welcome to our live coverage of the channel. Welcome to the live with the channel ascent, climb up the Les Sables channel. First of all, Câline, the local YouTuber, returning into his home channel, indeed the channel that you can see pretty much from his house, and completing his fourth Vendée Globe today at just before 9 o'clock local time, 8:56 local time this morning it was, in the across the finish line on Lally Câline. This mock-up we see just now. Whole day Les Sables alone,
Yes, of course. Mohamed, big time of emotion for Arnaud Boissières. It's a story of a life. 16 years old on the globe. Now maybe hear him again. 16 years dream to be part of the story.
On est là pour partager. Bon, donc on partage la fête, c'est une grande fête. On revient à Tour du Monde, c'est une grosse fête.
To say that to around the world we need to make a big party, and if you want to know everything, the big party tonight will be in Arnaud Boissières team places. He invited the tailor and Andy. It is that everybody in the running is right there. We know how popular he is here. There is no one shop, no one people. No one here. He's everywhere in this app. The most over of the heart of the people here.
Indeed, and of course, regular customer in Lamy in the port of Les Sables. Hariri is coming to the channel now for the fourth time, his fourth Vendée Globe. He said in his interview that he's pleased with the record, but I'm not Jean Le Camp. What Jean Le Camp in this race is remarkable. And Le Camp, of course, has done 4 Vendée Globes back to back.
Yeah, that's incredible that Arnaud go until the end. Of course, he has that incredible ability to take care of his boat, a boat of 2007. Imagine when there is a project of modern IMOCA. His IMOCA make your year of fight of race, and when he succeed to go into with it. And we see the other hero of the day, Kojiro Shiraishi, will arrive right after Kojiro. It was a match race on a few days, and they will enter together on the channel. Big party is coming with the two guys who try until the end to know who will be ahead. Arnaud Boissières with a little battle, but we will see Kojiro. They had time, each of them, to talk together. They have time to talk with the team, to take time to realize what they just succeed to do. And here they are, the two new persons who arrive, and of course it's beautiful moment for the two sailors to exchange with people, with family. Let's not forget that two guys more than 19 alone. Of course there is WhatsApp, of course there is modern way to communicate. They're still alone on the boat, and now they feel back that human warmness, friends, relatives, member of team, family also. Câline, the nickname of Arnaud Boissières, this beautiful moment. Kojiro, Shiraishi also. And let's make a little sum up of that incredible day, Antti.
Indeed, it is a day with 4 boats finishing, and I think we're seeing here Câline's son. What's his name?
Leo.
Leo is his name. reunited with his little son. And as we said earlier on, in his house is in La Chaume, the left side bank going into the channel now. Still a cold afternoon here, grey, overcast skies. Very different to when he finished his last race, the race before. He said good weather, not quite as good today, but here we go, the players, and for sure, Arnaud Boissières, one of the main showmen when it comes to this business, coming into the channel. I think his flare's looking a little bit out there. It doesn't seem to get off. One of the facial hazards, as I've seen a couple of skippers. I don't know where the flare is coming from, but they're not first quality at the moment. But, a second attempt, and there we go. First flare, fourth channel, on the globe.
Of course, and that's a story for those because this morning, yeah, of course, it took a bit of time. It's not the easiest stuff to do, but that's part of the little story. He will try.
So we're going third time lucky in the flares. Has to work this time. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. And a few people out. Remember that we are a little bit down here in front now. And it is work day. So there's not a massive number of people out on the right bank, the left bank, and down in Luxembourg. Here we'll see plenty of people. And there's our media friends aboard the Veneto press boat there, making sure they get the best photographs. These are all with some of the most iconic images of the Vendée Globe. Is the return into the some nice pictures of Clarice Kramer in the dark with the flares. And I'm sure the same for Arnaud Boissières.
Yeah, of course. The story about Clarice. There were 4 photographers paid by her team to shoot the best pics, and as I say, it's important pics can become iconic in the story here. As we say, it's not even put here with the picture of Arnaud, so maybe that picture will pick that. So a little story about his son, Leo, who's now 3 or more than 4 years old. I mean, 4 years ago, and the globe was so little. And Arnaud decided with his girlfriend to write all the feelings he has, write it in a little book, and all that books one day his son will have the opportunity to read it, to know what his dad goes through, and that's a beautiful story of the globe, because of course there is all what Sailor Saint was, but there is also plenty of secrets, plenty of doubt, plenty of moments of joy who keep them for themselves.
There we're starting to see the crowd building up. It goes down to into the channel, further into the channel, and as Antoine's saying, as a young son, as indeed Alan Rura has this time, and Boris Herman, both got babies that are only months old, and it's always resting. It's always very emotional time to leave these babies behind, knowing that how much will grow and progress over the course of 3 months. In the case of Alan Rura, I spoke to him before the start, and I said, how do you feel about that? And he said, it's much more important to have a legacy and be able to tell your kids what you did. when they're very, very little and not aware that their fathers are racing around the world. But here we go, nice overhead shot of the arrival into the channel of Câline, and not too far behind. We will have Kojiro Shiraishi on DMG 4i1. So there we go. Arnaud Boissières, welcomed by his townspeople, by the people of Les Sables.
Here on the Boissières with little crowd around. The local sailor grew up in and now one of the ambassadors of Les Sables d'Olonne. Here with Arnaud Boissières, of course it's live, of course sometimes there is little problem, but the most important is to see his joy, his happiness. The one of a guy who succeed 4 times to finish Vendée Globe. Every time emotion.
Indeed, every time emotion is he does certainly enjoy this time coming in the channel. This is when the showman and Arnaud Boissières comes out. And he sees his neighbours really on that left side bank coming down the channel, back on board. And there we are. You can pretty much see where he lived just on the left, about 100, 150 meters back from the channel. And going into then his home marina, the place where L'Ami Câline, the Imoca 60 is based. And here we go, just about 200 meters behind Kojiro Shiraishi. We're on board with Global DMG MORI Global 1. And this is the first time for Kojiro Shiraishi. It's the 4th time for Arnaud Boissières, but this really is a historic moment in the career of Kojiro Shiraishi. He said in his interviews that this has been a dream he's been holding dear to his heart for 34 years. And he loves the people of Les Sables d'Olonne, and the people of Les Sables d'Olonne and people of France, people of French sailing adore this Japanese skipper for his big smile, his positive attitude. And these images, as Antoine said earlier on, will be broadcast all the way around Japan. He is a national hero today and forever onwards.
And they are both a good illustration of what is Vendée Globe. In one part, Arnaud Boissières, the local, the one who is supported by all the company of here, of the region called Vendée, and Kojiro, born 9,800 kilometers from Les Sables d'Olonne in Japan, in a little town, who grew up with the dream to become like Yuko Tada. We will of course talk about it. And he is now here, celebrate his first tour around the world, second time in Vendée Globe, and finish already 2-star on their way. 2 amazing sailors who arrive, and such a pics. We think about Fred, who used the drones, and that help you to see how beautiful the port of Les Sables is. And what is funny is that we don't really realize right now that it's really cold outside, completely Scottish weather, with our Scottish friend Andy Robertson.
It is It's certainly quite cold this morning, -2 on the water. But neither of these skippers, I don't think, concerned about the cold weather just now, given the warmth of this welcome. And the crowds are building up, growing all the time as we come down the channel. This is the welcome for Kojiro Shiraishi, a moment that I'm sure in the middle of November he probably in his heart wondered whether it would ever happen. And as my colleague Antoine said many times, that over the course of the race he kept on describing it as a miracle he was still going. And so you'd have to say it's a miracle that he's finished and into the channel now. But that is a testament to his seamanship and his ability to look after his boat, and particularly that mainsail. And I think just, Antoine, above and beyond anything else, sheer willpower.
Yeah, of course, Andy, and you hear the atmosphere. We started to be close of a normal arrival when all the people can be here around the chenal. And of course, Kojiro, it's a miracle. We remember the word of Benjamin Dutreux, who also arrived here in Les Sables a few days ago. And we say that it's amazing to succeed to fix a sail like he does. And here, a family of Arnaud Boissières. And we don't know for Kojiro yet what about the future, but Arnaud already says that he thinks a lot on 2024. He expected to have a boat more speed. Arnaud Boissières here in Les Sables, at home, back at home. You see the boat all around. So in a way, Andy, we can say it, the Vendée Globe 2024 is already start on the mind of the sailor and in terms of all the projects we have.
That's right, for sure. When I spoke with Kojiro before the start, he was already talking about his project through to 2024. And I'm sure that was always at the back of his mind on this race. He obviously wanted to get it finished and build the experience for next time. But his sponsorship is through until the 2024 race. And he will build on his experience with the boat. No doubt a little bit of optimization, and hopefully, as I say, we'll see him in some more of the Amoka circuit races. But he bases himself in Lorient some of the year, but his family are at home in Japan, and that's been one of the hardest things, I think, for him at this race. Certainly pre-start, he was expecting his family to be able to come here and to see him off. He has a young daughter who I think he's stayed in touch with over the course of the race on WhatsApp and by phone. That's been one of his disappointments, was he was looking forward to having his family with him. Anyway, let's see Antoine.
Yeah, of course, and we remind one of our talk with Kojiro. It was a few weeks ago, close to the coast of Brazil, and it was a point on the planet who was the farthest to Japan, and he received plenty of message. It was kind of a key moment for all his support in Japan, because they talk a lot about media to that point, the farthest to Japan, and Kojiro will succeed to go until the end. And as you say, Andy, it starts for the sailor after the emotion, after the chenal, to think about, in a way, about regret and frustration. They will not say it like this for us, with us on the press conference, but they will have time to make back the race, to think about what was nice or not. And for Kojiro, like every time in sailing, there is a part of to be unlucky a bit with the problem he have. And of course, without all the problems he have to go through it, maybe he could make a better result. So there is all the time they wanted to make better. Even for Bestaven who win, we say that he dreamed to cross the line first. So the stories never finish the story of a sailor in Vendée Globe.
Indeed, I mean, for sure, I think one of the key issues in terms of preparing the boat is you can never sail too many miles. Hard miles are really what builds in reliability, and that's fundamental to the Vendée Globe. And we saw that with the latest generation boats, which were short of miles. We lost these 2 transatlantic races due to the pandemic, and that left some of the newest generation boats short on miles. And to a certain extent, DMG MORI 1, I think, falls into that category, although Kojiro Shiraishi sailed pretty conservatively, sailed very much within his comfort zone in order to protect that mainsail. But he will be doing, I'm sure, quite a bit more training and racing. Let's see whether he participates in the Transat Jacques Vabre later on this year and other races in the future before the next Vendée Globe. But for sure, ever since he was here in 2016, the people of Les Sables d'Olonne have taken him to his heart, to their hearts, as they do for the local hero Arnaud Boissières today. And a lot of skippers out in force to welcome Kojiro, to welcome Câline, and then later on this afternoon, Alan Rura, Stéphane Lederaison, and then in the evening, Pip Hare.
And as we say, Andy, this morning there is also lots of sailors who already finished the Vendée Globe, who came back today just for welcome them. We thought about Clément, about Benjamin Dutreux, who arrived. It's also the case of Jean Le Cam, between 2 rendezvous in Paris, and of the winner, Yannick Bestaven, one of the biggest friends of Arnaud Boissières. They talk together, they exchange message during all their tour around the world. Arnaud will have some words for his friend. He say, my friend Yannick give up one time and win the second time. Me, I finish every time, but I never win. So of course there is that big wanted to win inside the mind of Arnaud Boissières. And now is the time to celebrate with family, to enjoy that moment. Imagine to be far to your family during as many time as that. The pleasure there is to gather the family here in Les Sables after that big adventure, to see all that attention around you. And there is that wanted of Arnaud. He says that to us to share the moment and the emotion with them, because it's also their tour around the world. It's never one man or one woman alone. The family also has to make compromise, has to live with the fact that your sailor is not at home. It's far, to live with the doubt, to live with the scary part of the race. Now it's supposed to be finished. He's safe. They are all safe, and they can celebrate it.
So with his kids there, just approaching the Portolona Marina now. Little word there, I think, for the Marina Master. And for sure, the skipper who has been in and out of this marina most times in his career, based here, and as we said earlier on in the day, trains mostly on his own, runs his own program on a relatively modest budget out of the Sables d'Olonne Marina. Whereas Kojiro Shiraishi here has been based up in Lorient. His program run or managed initially by Roland Jourdain's team.
And as we say, Andy, this morning, Kojiro is not a foreigner. He's not someone no one know here in France. Most over in Brittany, when there is all the boat and all the team. He is in Brittany since few years now. Of course, Roland Jourdain worked for him, but there is a lot of respect between him and the other sailor. We know that Jean Le Cam helped him sometimes, and he's a well-known face in Port-la-Forêt, where many of the team are based. And it's really nice, Andy, to live and to feel the race when there is one guy from Les Sables d'Olonne and one guy so far away, and the same emotions, the same wanting to celebrate it.
That's right, the same welcome accorded to both the local hero and the skipper from the other side of the world, who's finishing his first Vendée Globe. And I have to say, Antoine, it's not so often in the Vendée Globe that you get more than one boat finishing at a time, but this is a very, very special day for this very fact, as you highlight the local hero, Arnaud Boissières, coming in to complete his fourth consecutive Vendée Globe, and the skipper from Japan, who has carried this legacy of his unfortunate mentor. And I think huge pride in the heart of Kojiro Shiraishi, and that big smile tells us everything. And looking out over onto the commercial docks there on the right-hand side, and the arrival into the red carpet of the Ponton d'Honneur, and we will see the other IMOCAs. Some of them have already left, though, Antoine, haven't they? Some of the early arrivals have gone back to Brittany.
Yes, of course, it's linked out, the boat of Thomas Rouillon, who leaves the first, was 2 days ago. And after Metro Cox, the boat of Yannick Bestaven, plus Apivia yesterday, and Groupe Apicil of Damien Seguin. All of that boat go back to Brittany and started the new season. And you could hear Andy, you could admire also his great knowledge about Les Sables d'Olonne, and he will be ready to make you visit until 2024 to wait the next edition of Vendée Globe. Are you ready for that new job, Andy?
Yes, indeed we are. I have to confess that we're well known to the staff in Câline in the port of Les Sables d'Olonne. Just making sure that we support the sponsorship of Arnaud Boissières, and we have no comment on our support of the beer sponsor, do we, Antoine?
Yeah, of course. So for the people who were not with us this morning, it's a beautiful story in a way. In each local beers who sponsor Arnaud Boissières, there is few cents come to the budget of Arnaud. So we had a little funny story and joke with Arnaud yesterday by phone. We say to him that in a way there is plenty of person who is sponsor now, and why not to buy a big foiler? Why not to dream?
We have done our best to support Arnaud Boissières in that respect, but purely in the interest of financially supporting him and hopefully seeing him on the start line next time round. But here we go, Arnaud Boissières coming back into his home marina. Still an emotional time for him, even though he's done 4 Vendée Globes. Connecting again with his kids. And he will be greeted by the usual VIPs, and quite sure if there's down there for him. And then he'll be able to, in turn, welcome Kojiro Shiraishi back to the dock. And then during the afternoon, Antoine, we have the press conference for Arnaud Boissières and Kojiro. So tell me, Antoine, what's the music, the welcome music for Arnaud Boissières?
It's a French song called Un homme pressé. of Noir Désir. That's what we hear right now. I'm not sure that you hear it. Last time before to go back to the hearse for Arnaud Boissières. On the music, it's a hymn of like all the sailors who choose it. Arnaud Boissières will let you enjoy the atmosphere here in the Sable. It's cold, of course, but this is will make warm to everybody.
There you go. Yves Auvigny, the president of the Vendée region and the SAM Vendée, on the dock as he always is to welcome the skippers back. And the media there on their little gallery, their gantry there, making the best photos of the day. I think Arnaud Boissières was complaining or remarking a couple of days ago on how tired he was, how this intense race had left him much tireder than ever before. But that tiredness will be forgotten in the meantime, I think, and probably late into the night. But just now it's time to celebrate, time to reconnect with planet Earth, with his team and with his friends and family.
Just a little word about timing and statistics for the ones who like it. Arnaud Boissières 4 years ago, he arrived after 102 days. Now he just reached 94 days. And the gap between the first and him 4 years ago, it was 28 days. And now it's just 14 days. It's to show how much the race was amazing. And here, amazing time with the winner of Vendée Globe, Yannick Bestaven, two friends from Arcachon. They learned to grow up together. That's an amazing,
fantastic fight. They built their first minis together. They grew up together as teenagers, and as Arnaud pointed out in one of his recent communications, a year ago just now, they were away skiing together in the Alps. And I'm sure they will party this evening. And as he said earlier on in the day, it is one of the outstanding features of this Vendée Globe, having his best friend in sailing win the race. Makes him feel a little bit of a winner himself, but big welcome for Yannick Bestaven then. Both of them mentored by Yves Pauline. They were youngsters. As I said, built their minis together, their ship minis, and finished first and third in the 2001 Mini Transat. So Antoine, the champagne moment, one which is well known to both these skippers, of course. Yannick Bestaven on his right, winner of the Vendée Globe, and now Arnaud Boissières, his fourth Vendée Globe champagne moment.
That's the time. And Arnaud will take his time to open the bottle. Vendée Globe. Champagne time. And that friendship story is amazing between them. They cross the years, the doubt, races. In 2008, a few hours after the start, Bestaven had to retire because of a math problem. Arnaud continue, and they support each other. Yannick take 12 years to find back a project and to come to the top of sailing, to the victory of the club. He were every time supported by Arnaud. Arnaud will say, Yannick is my hero, and he say it in Caporn. The two family are really close. It's so beautiful moment, simple one, but really strong. That's what like Câline, the nickname of Arnaud Boissières. And it's nice to see it and to see it on live.
During that moment, was with his best friend in sailing anyway. He grew up in the Bay of Arcachon, just down the coast from here. From top sailors, including Philip Tracty, who's currently main coach to the Luna Rossa team, who will be the next couple of days facing up to just Team UK in the final of the Tropical Cup.
Ouais. Ça va mieux, pourquoi?
He's talking to his mom. He say that now I'm better.
Ça va pas, ça va? T'as repris les vacances?
Ready for holidays. Arnaud and his mom have a so big and strong connection. Arnaud, we used to speak about his mom. We prepare plenty of little things to eat on board. And the stuff that Andy likes the most, friendly little desserts come from Bordeaux. We had plenty of you know what it's good to have on board. We are with Kojiro.
Meal looking for them, and also looking for salad and sparkling water. So, Antoine, the music for Kojiro.
We don't see it, but the Japanese one. No? You need to know, Andy, that what you like don't hear the music, as we pretend a few minutes ago. So it's important to make a list, and you will expect them everything. Just notice because we repeat it, but it's an amazing moment that we live right now. The first Asian people who finish the Vendée Club, first one will go until the end of that amazing race.
Indeed. Many Japanese supporters have come over to be at the finish with Kojiro. We will find out what the music is, and it will be in Antoine's press release. But look at him, he's so happy. It's just such a strong moment. And there, Shota, his right-hand man, his wingman, who's been through the last Vendée Globe with him and was very, very close to the disappointment when he had to retire in 2016, in December 2016.
And actually, Andy, the first time we have time here on the live to see the face of Kojiro. 53 years old, two-time in Vendée Globe, and for the first time on the arrival line. And he will time also to enjoy with his team, as we say with Andy, an event which is broadcast right now on live in Japan. His arrival and the press conference in few time. Such a story of Kojiro. As we say with Andy, it's a story of a book, it's a story of a movie, a story of a man who try everything, try to go through. And we enjoy the moment with the team of Kojiro here in the Sable d'Olonne, here with the winner Yannick Bestaven, as they are beautiful, that pics. And you see that friendship between them. We are a big family, say to us Boris Herman a few days ago, and that's what we see, that's what we live, that's what we feel day after day here in Les Sables, between the hero of Vendée Globe and all the one who finish that race. They are in a pot, the winner of it, and it's the case for Kojiro. Kojiro 10th in Vendée Arctic Les Sables last summer. And the future, it's a beautiful. The future will, of course, give him opportunities to be on the top position with that beautiful project of DMG MORI. As Andy said to us this morning, DMG are really, really proud of him. They already happy to think about the future. They will have the Transat Jacques Vabre. And of course, Vendée Globe 2024. Kojiro will take time with his team, and we will enjoy that moment.
Here we go with the mayor of Les Sables d'Olonne there on the left, and Monsieur Auvenet. Kojiro gets the champagne, and this will be another very sweet moment for him.
Les gars de l'équipe, mettez-vous derrière. Les gars de l'équipe, mettez-vous derrière.
We hear photographer trying that the scene is the more beautiful possible. He said to his team to come, and the team and Shota, of course, hold the team. There is French people. There is, I mean, it's a good illustration of globalization for sailing. Sometimes there is good stuff in globalization. And Kojiro, we will start the champagne ceremony here on live in Vendée Globe, on live also in Japan. Kojiro, an amazing story of 94 days around the sea. We have to cross lots of problems, but we succeed until the end to fight. He was close to beat Arnaud Boissières on the last few hours of the race, and here's the champagne time.
There we go. His big team. Thanking them all collectively and individually. And the skipper taking center stage, as indeed they're just watching. We'll hopefully get a few words from Kojiro in a few minutes. We have Shota there as a translator.
Second bottle of champagne.
Japanese champagne.
So after the program is the same for all the sailor. A few questions with media. A bit of champagne for the boat also to say him thanks. And after a few questions with media, and after back here, the first dishes, and after go back for the press conference. Press conference followed on live that you can follow it, of course. You can also send us questions for them. Press conference of Kojiro, Shiraishi, Arnaud Boissières. And the day is not finished here in Les Sables d'Olonne. Emotion coming with Alan Roura, the Switzerland guy, young guy, for his second Vendée Globe. Stéphane Le Dirison also. They are close since a lot of days together, and they will finish Vendée Globe in few hours. And Miss Brave PR will arrive on the night. And let's hear Arnaud.
Le vent était fort et il faisait froid.
It was a bit stressed at the end because the wind was
J'étais quand même
cold
un peu
and
inquiet
strong.
dans la nuit parce que je voyais
We're a bit worried on the
mon
night
ami
because
derrière qui
I see
revenait
my
vite,
friend
qui allait
Kojiro
mettre à la feu,
came back
donc,
fast.
voilà. Donc j'étais prudent jusqu'à l'arrivée et puis
So I tried to take care
finalement au
at
dernier
the
moment
end.
j'ai vu la côte des sables, le remblai arriver et tout, j'ai fait ça y est, ça y est, j'y suis. Et c'est à ce
So when
moment-là,
I
je me
say
suis
les
dit que
sables,
j'allais
I say,
enfin terminer ce
yes,
Vendée
I'm
Globe-là
here.
et
The Vendée Globe
que j'allais
is
profiter du
finally,
bonheur intense que ça procure de finir un tour du monde.
Ça fait 16
and
ans
I enjoy
de
the
ta vie
time.
consacrée au Vendée Globe. C'est quoi ton secret d'une telle longévité et de
16
tenir autant et d'avoir toujours la
Years
niaque comme
of
ça et l'envie de
life
tout faire
dedicated to
ça?
Vendée Globe.
Secret,
What's
c'est
your
ma
secret?
famille,
The secret
mes
is my
sœurs, mes
family,
parents,
my sister, my
mes
parents,
enfants qui m'aident constamment parce que
my
des fois c'est pas facile, faut pas
children,
arriver
because they help me.
faire, je veux dire, et
It's
du
not
coup,
every easy
ça
every
me donne une
day,
force aussi pour
and they give me
sur
force
des projets
to build projects,
et je suis passionné par ça.
and it's my passion.
J'adore ça, j'adore l'eau,
I love it.
j'adore
I
l'océan,
love it. I
j'adore
love
la mer,
everything. I love
j'adore
ocean. I love
l'aventure.
the sea.
J'aime
I love
avant tout la
adventure,
compétition.
and of course, I love
C'est là où je suis encore
competition.
plus content parce que j'ai réussi à
Where I'm the more
me
happy is that I
dépatouiller
succeed to go
ouais,
through
des emmerdes, ouais, c'est
all
clair, mais
the problems
Catherine
I
qui
have,
était juste derrière moi et que je suis hyper fier de cette place. C'est
and
que
I'm
15e, mais
so
en fait c'est
proud of
15e
that
et pour moi c'est
position.
une place qui a
It
beaucoup
may
de
be
valeur.
just 15,
Quand je vois
but there is lots of
la
value for
valeur
me
des
on that
compétiteurs qu'il y a derrière
position.
moi, la valeur
When I
des
see
gars qu'il y a
all the
derrière moi,
person
des équipes qu'il y a
who's
derrière
down
moi.
to me,
Et voilà, et je suis content aussi parce que j'ai un petit projet, mais j'ai des partenaires très forts. Et j'ai des
and I'm so
équipes qui
happy
est
because I
très,
have a little project,
très
but I
soudée.
have
Je
a
dois beaucoup à
really strong team.
Jean-Christophe Cazot qui
C'est comme
qui
Jean-Christophe
m'a beaucoup
Cazot,
aidé au niveau
who helped
technique.
him a
Des
lot.
fois, je ne sais pas faire, quoi. Il y a des trucs, il m'a beaucoup
With
aidé
stuff,
et
of course, I don't know
il
how
m'a
to do,
beaucoup
so
aidé
he helped
aussi
me a lot.
sereinement.
He helped me a lot
Il dit, t'inquiète
to
pas, il y a
be
une solution à
confident,
tout ça et Julien,
to trust to the future,
des problèmes mécaniques.
even when
C'est
there is
dur,
a
mais
mechanical problem.
je me suis retrouvé aux Açores. C'est pas possible, c'est fini. Là.
In Azor, I
C'est
thought
rien,
it would
mais
be
c'est pas grave.
finished,
Tout
and
démonté, tout
he
démonté,
said to me
attends, je comprends rien.
to be
Donc,
calm, to continue to move on.
il m'a fait la mécanique pour les nuls en
So he helped
2
me
heures et
to
puis
make all the
ça a
mechanic,
redémarré. C'est
and in 2 hours I succeed to
Et là, je
continue
me
and
suis dit,
to.
il faut que je finisse bien, que
And after I just say to myself that I want to finish good
voilà, pour eux, pour tout ce projet, pour tous ceux qui m'accompagnent.
for the project, for the people who
On
support
sait
me.
qu'un Vendée Globe, c'est pas facile.
We know that Vendée Globe is not
Facile
an
pour
easy
aucun
stuff.
et voilà, je suis hyper fier d'être là.
I'm really, really proud to be here.
C'est un privilège de finir un Vendée Globe. On a terminé 4 dessus.
You finish four
Même si
time
c'était
Vendée Globe.
quelque chose dont tu ne faisais pas attention au départ. Maintenant, tu l'as fait, tu l'as réalisé, c'est ici.
You did it.
Ouais.
It's unique. What do you think about it?
Bah, en fait, je réalise pas trop.
I don't
Je me
realize
souviens d'un
yet.
truc, c'est qu'à mon deuxième départ de Vendée Globe, on
I
m'avait
remember
dit,
that for the start of the second
en
Vendée Globe,
2012, je crois à l'époque, on m'avait dit,
2012.
je crois 12 ans avant le départ, je crois que c'est un journaliste d'ailleurs qui m'avait dit ça
the journalist
à une conférence
come
de
to
presse.
me
Il y a
and
une conférence de
said
presse.
during
Arnaud,
a
t'as
press
20% de chance
conference,
de finir le Vendée Globe.
you have 20% chance to
Bah là,
finish
j'ai
the Vendée Globe.
0% de chance de finir alors. J'aime pas les pourcentages, j'aime pas les statistiques.
And I don't like statistics. I
Ce que
don't
je
like
sais, c'est que
percentage. The only stuff I know,
faire un Vendée Globe et finir un Vendée Globe, ça marque.
make a Vendée Globe, finish it.
C'est pas pour écrire l'histoire, c'est pour écrire sa propre histoire. Et,
The most important is to
moi,
write
j'ai
your own
fini quatre,
story,
et,
and I make it four times.
c'est plus que l'histoire, c'est.
It's more than a story. It's my life.
Il a écrit ce bateau que tu as récupéré dans un état
There is that boat that you keep in a.
sur l'eau.
That's all
Comment ça
boats.
s'est passé, sa relation sur le Vendée Globe avec
How you describe the relationship you have with
Ouais, c'est
with
ça,
your
c'est que ce
boat?
projet-là était différent par rapport à ce que j'ai monté. C'est ça qui.
This project was
c'est
different
aussi,
to
c'est
the
que
others.
J'aime bien monter les projets, j'aime bien
I
construire les
like to
projets.
start project.
Ce bateau-là, il
like
avait
to
fait,
follow it.
il a pris le départ du Vendée Globe il y a 4 ans, il avait
This
abandonné,
boat
il
makes
avait
the start of Vendée
dématé,
Globe 4 years ago.
le pont était à
He
moitié
had a
cassé en
story.
deux,
There
j'ai
is plenty
récupéré
of
le
stuff will
bateau
break.
chez Michel Delvaillot, chez Naragité, qu'il a modernisé structurellement.
I try to
Et
fix
du
it,
coup, on a
to
tout refait
modernize
ici,
it.
au sable, à 300 mètres ici.
We do
avec,
everything here.
mon équipe,
300
avec
meters from
l'équipe.
here with my
Tout
team.
installé, hydraulique, électronique, informatique, tout.
We put all back inside.
C'est pas un bateau que j'ai construit, on n'a pas moins construit un bateau, mais c'est un bateau qu'on a.
It's a bit
connaît
like
par
we
cœur.
built up a boat.
Et de ce côté-là, c'est une grosse
That's
fierté
part of the job.
au nom de tous ceux
I'm
qui ont
of course proud of
participé,
it. Proud to
à
all the
l'élaboration
person who helped
ce
me to
bateau-là, tous ceux qui ont bossé avec moi il y a 2 ans, il y a
work
2 ans et
with me on
demi,
that project 2 years
sur la route du
ago
Rhum, sur la Java
in the route
dernière.
du
Il y a
Rhum, in
Xavier
Jack Vabre
Macar
last
qui était là
year.
avec moi tout à l'heure,
Xavier Macar were with
avec
me,
Xavier qui fait Jack
co-skipper.
Vabre.
With him,
Il
I
m'a
make Jack
énormément
Vabre.
apporté. Des fois, j'essaie de
He
naviguer à
made me
la
learn lots of
matière,
things.
très structuré,
Sometimes
très
I try to
ordonné,
say like him,
en respectant les
really
trajectoires et tout
clean,
ça. Ça marche pas à tous les coups.
take
parce
care
que
of
des
the
fois, on est
way,
en mer, la mer est terrible et tout ça.
even
Et
if
du
sometimes
coup,
it's hard on the sea with the condition.
c'est chouette de pouvoir construire un projet comme ça avec des
It's
gens
really
sains,
nice to
des
build a
gens qui sont
project like
passionnés
this
comme moi. Et des
to
gens
be
qui voient
surrounded
avant
by
tout,
persons who have the same
qui voient
passions
avant
than me.
tout ça, l'aboutissement d'un projet, c'est quoi? C'est ça, c'est
And the end of the project is
franchir
what we live right now.
le chenal de Porlona dans cette ambiance-là.
To cross the chenal
Et
with
tout
that
ça, je leur
atmosphere.
dois beaucoup.
Quand tu vois ton ami Yannick, lui, il réussit
When
à
you
gagner
see
le Vendée
your
Globe, ça te
friend
donne
Yannick,
envie.
other question.
Grave. Mais ce que je dis, en fait, avec Yannick, on se connaît quand on est ado, c'est quoi la
With
différence
Yannick,
entre
we
Yannick et
hear
moi?
each other
C'est qu'Yannick, il fait
since
des
we are
Vendée Globe en
teen.
2008, il abandonne
So
le soir ou le
Yannick,
lendemain.
he
départ.
abandoned, he
Et le
retired
deuxième,
after in
il gagne.
2008, and the
Et
second
moi,
he wins.
j'en fais 4, j'ai fini les
Me, I
4.
make
Voilà, c'est
4
ça la
Vendée
différence
Globe,
entre
and I
Yannick et
finish
moi.
4. That's the difference between me
Et
and
oui,
Yannick.
ça donne envie de faire un projet plus compétitif.
So
C'est ce que
yes,
j'ai envie
of
de faire
course,
dans
I
4 ans.
wanted
Mais
to
d'abord, j'ai envie de
have
savourer avec mes partenaires, avec ma
more
famille, avec mes
sport
proches, avec
project,
Yannick. Et
best
quand il a
project
gagné,
possible.
franchement,
But when he win, of course,
j'avais l'impression d'avoir gagné un peu, quoi.
I had the sensation to win
Parce que Yannick, c'est un super gars.
because Yannick is a really, really
C'est
nice,
un gars
nice
extraordinaire.
sailor. It's
Yannick,
an
Jean-Marie,
amazing guy.
Doris, qui travaillent avec lui, on se connaît pareil depuis.
All the
On
person
a
who
fait
work
400
for
coups
him,
ensemble, on a
I
fait
know them
des
since
régates de malades,
ages.
sans
We
budget,
make
sans
plenty
rien.
of race, sometimes without budget, without nothing. But we go until the end. And we are back now with Kojiro. Kojiro Shiraishi, 16 of the Vendée Globe. On that big day of arrival, on the cold of Les Sables-d'Olonne.
Quelques jours
Back
cet été
with,
ensemble à Arcachon, avec nos enfants, juste pour
we spent a few days
pour
with
préparer le
our
bateau, pour
kids
essayer
and
de parler
Yannick
autre chose,
in summer in
parler de-
Arcachon.
qu'on allait prendre pour Noël.
We thought
Comme
about
ça,
what will happen on the race.
Et c'est trop chouette qu'il gagne.
Arnaud,
I'm so
Quel
happy that he
sentiment,
wins.
quand vous arrivez là aujourd'hui, et est-ce
What's
que c'est
the
le même
feeling when
sentiment
you
à chaque
arrive?
fois qu'on termine un Vendée Globe?
What's the feeling when you finish Vendée Globe?
Ouais, j'ai l'impression de flotter un peu, tu vois. J'ai plus beaucoup de jambes, tu sais. J'ai l'impression
The
de
emotion is big.
vivre un bonheur intense. Ouais, j'ai pas gagné.
I have the sensation to live an incredible happiness. I not win, I'm just 15, but I have the sensation to win. I win for all the person around me.
Et j'essaie de partager mes projets, de partager la manière dont je vis, comment je suis en mer, mes joies, mes peines, comment je danse mal, comment
My
je me sens
joy,
mal, comment je rigole
my
mal.
moment of doubt.
Et, voilà, donc là, je me laisse sauter. Je sais que dans quelques jours, ça va redescendre tout ça.
I know that in few days that pressure
penser
will
à
go
l'après,
down, that I will
pour
have
le
to think
moment,
about
je me laisse
after.
sauter.
But for now, I let me be on that
C'est un bonheur
incredible feeling,
vraiment intense.
that's so powerful happiness.
T'as demandé un éclair au chocolat. Est-ce que ça va être pareil cette année?
Ouais, j'ai commandé une rafale d'éclair au chocolat pour moi et pour toute l'équipe, pour tous les copains. Je crois que ça va arriver. Ouais.
Éclair au chocolat.
Ouais, ça va arriver parce que c'est vrai que c'est partie des choses
Stuff he
qui est sponsorisé par Michael, que t'as pas de pain à bord, t'as pas d'éclair au chocolat. Bon, t'as hâte que ça arrive quand t'arrives avec.
T'auras ton éclair tout à l'heure.
Je l'aurai, ouais.
Arnaud, entre Yannick et toi, c'est une question de caractère. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire toi? Quel est ton caractère? Explique ton histoire avec le Vendée Globe.
Moi, c'est une histoire de vie. Moi, le Vendée Globe.
Me, the Vendée Globe is a story.
Mon premier Vendée Globe, tu vois, j'en parle comme mon premier Vendée Globe. Mon premier Vendée Globe à moi, c'était en 89.
To me was in
Je n'ai
1989.
pas participé, mais
I
mon
was
père
not
m'a amené voir les parts du Vendée Globe parce que dans
was
les circonstances
here to
assez
see
particulières, j'étais malade.
the
J'avais une leucémie et du coup, mon père m'a amené
particular reason
Bordeaux
I
à
was sick and
Sables-d'Olonne. J'étais en plein
And
traitement,
I had
j'avais
to be
perdu
here.
mes cheveux. Bah, c'est pas encore, mais
I had leukemia.
en plein traitement, j'avais 17
In
ans
the
et
middle of the treatment,
mon père
I was
m'amène là parce que j'étais
old.
passionné par la mer. J'avais vu la
I come here because
Lamadou à la pêche.
she was my patient and I wanted to see Tito
Et il
Lamadou.
m'amène pour me faire vivre autre chose que ce que je vivais au quotidien.
My dad tried
Le
to
traitement et,
offer my
chimiothérapie,
current
tout ça.
life of the treatment, of the therapy.
Et du coup, j'ai une histoire particulière avec le Vendée Globe.
So of course, I have also
Mais
a
c'est pas pour ça que je le
particular
fais non plus.
story with Vendée Globe.
C'est particulier ce que j'ai vécu, c'est particulier ce que mon père a vécu, c'est particulier ce que mes parents ont vécu.
What I live, what my dad, what my parents live is, of
Quand
course,
je prends le départ du premier Vendée Globe en 2008,
when I won my first Vendée
c'est
Globe
très
in
très particulier
2000,
parce qu'on croyait que c'était une revanche sur la vie, mais pas du
or
tout.
it's
C'est juste,
like a revenge
pas une
on
revanche,
my
c'est la
life.
vie, quoi. La vie est faite de plein de
Not just
passions,
a
de plein
revenge,
d'espoir.
just my life. It just
Il faut aller de l'avant, moi je veux
made
toujours
by
de l'avant
hope.
et
Need
j'essaie
to move on every
voilà,
time.
d'être constructif dans tout ce que je
And
fais.
I try in
Donc
all
voilà
what
mon
I
histoire
try to move
particulière
on.
aujourd'hui.
That was my
J'ai
different
quasiment
story
fait
here.
un Vendée Globe de plus en 89, je l'ai pas fait, mais
It's like in
j'ai beaucoup vécu.
1989,
J'étais
I won the globe.
extrêmement flatté. J'ai eu Titon Lamazou au départ, avant le départ au téléphone. Et
I talk with
extrêmement flatté
Titon
parce que,
Lamazou
ce que je voulais faire au début, je voulais pas faire le Vendée Globe, je voulais faire Titon Lamazou.
before I
C'est un
won
gars extraordinaire aussi.
the Vendée Globe. I wanted
C'est un
to be
artiste.
Titon Lamazou
Terme.
because he's an amazing guy. He's
Et
an artist.
voilà, du coup, je m'en trouve là.
And now I'm here
On fait
with the
Vendée
boat.
Globe et
to
on
make
pose
for
des
the
drôles
Vendée
de
Globe.
questions et
And
je
you
suis un
make
peu intimidé parce que
question.
voilà.
For sure, it's a bit strange for me.
Avec la dernière
Ouais,
question.
c'est justement le chemin qui t'importe l'aventure plutôt que les premières places.
Non, je suis compétiteur. La preuve, hein, c'est
Me,
que,
I like competition.
depuis plusieurs jours, je bataille pour arriver
The good
devant
illustration
Koji, devant
is a
Alan,
battle
devant
with
Stéphane et devant
Kojiro. I
Peter,
do everything to be
Angel,
close
qui fait super course avec un vieux bateau.
Alan le dit raison.
Super fille. Non, je suis avant tout compétiteur.
So no, I
Pas les
like to
pas les moyens
compete.
techniques
I like
pour avoir
competition.
un-
Of
pour
course,
avoir
I
un bateau
didn't have
compétitif,
the technical way
mais
to
demain, je vais me battre pour ça.
fight for victory, but tomorrow
Mais,
you
non,
fight
je suis
for
avant
that.
tout compétiteur. Je partirai pas à
And I
l'aventure
will
la fleur au fusil
back,
comme ça autour du monde. J'y vais parce qu'il y a la compétition
around
et ces
two
derniers
rounds
jours,
without competition.
ça a été très fatigant, très intense,
The
mais
last
ça
few
m'a
days
paru
it
moins
was
long
really
parce qu'on était
intense,
en
really
compétition,
hard
parce qu'on tirait
stuff,
la bourre,
but it was more
avec,
easy, more
avec
speed
les gars
because
qui
it
sont
was
derrière.
competition with
Ça, c'est
Kojiro
chouette, ça. Je suis
and
avant
Alan,
tout un
and it's
compétiteur,
so cool.
mais je suis un amoureux des océans et de la mer.
But I'm also a lover of ocean. Arnaud Boissières, first reaction, and Kojiro now with Japanese media. You will find back both of them in the press conference on Vendée Globe. Arnaud Boissières, un Kojiro, plus arrival, Stéphane Le Dit Raison, un Alan Rora, un Motorul, you can read every time Andy Robertson on the website of Vendée Globe.
Thank you very much, Antoine. We can't hear Kojiro yet. We will have him in full in the press conference, translated all the way through and streamed. Kojiro with Shota Kanda there is translator on the right hand side of him. Just waiting with the media. We may catch a few words, but for sure, he said on his first interviews, he was saying that really it's a 34-year dream that he's held to try and honor the legacy of Yuko Tada, which he has done in full today. That was his desire was to race in this race, as invited by Philippe Jonto. We love how dignified and serene Kojiro is. He is very, very much the master of Zen, isn't he, Antoine?
Yeah, of course, at the few days before the start, if you were wanted to see Kojiro, you had to go to the beach, and he was settled there like a Zen master, and that's how
À qui le tour?
he becomes that force to go across every single problem.
Non, ça avait un peu
Becomes the first
commencé.
Asian, the first Japan to go
Allez, j'assieds ça.
to finish the Vendée Globe.
Comment vous vous sentez Vous avez enfin atteint votre objectif.
First question,
Comment vous vous sentez
which Shota for
自分の目標っていうのが達成されましたけど、気持ちはいかがですか？
最高です。
C'est incroyable, c'est vraiment incroyable.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
C'est dur de trouver les mots.
It's hard to
言葉に
find
する
the
のは
words.
難しいですか？
そうだね。この感覚はバンデグローブ出場してる人しかわからないと思う。
Je
僕
pense,
も初めての体験。
je pense que c'est seuls les participants et les finisseurs
I
du
think that there is
Vendée Globe qui peuvent,
Vendée Globe
peuvent
can
savoir ce que
No.
ça fait. Et,
you feel when you
et même
finish.
moi, c'est la première fois,
Even for me,
c'est
the
la première
first
fois,
time,
donc j'arrive pas à les
so I
à les
don't
mettre en mots.
realize to
Est-ce qu'il a eu une pensée pour
to
son
put
maître
word on it.
donner envie de faire les Vendée Globe
このバンデグローブをやろうと思ったきっかけになった、その多田裕子さんの、気持ちっていうのはあります
ありますね。もう、多田さんのおかげでこの大会を知ったので、で30年以上かけてやっと世界一周できたので、多田さんも天国で安心していると思います。
Oui, bien sûr,
He
C'est
has
grâce à
also
lui que j'ai appris ce qu'était le Vendée Globe
his Vendée Globe
et je suis sûr qu'il m'encourage
shows that
de là où il
he
est.
support me
Alors
from
là, c'est
where
pas
he
tout de
is.
suite là, de trouver les mots, mais où il a compris qu'il allait enfin pouvoir boucler ce tour du monde.
ここ、まあ、数日間もう
When
ゴール
you
が近
started
く
to
な
know
っ
that you want to
て、
finish
結
Vendée Globe,
構、もうこれフィニッシュできそうだなっていう、数日間っていうのはどういうふうに過ごしていきましたか？
いや、今回僕たちのフリートはちょっと長かったんですよね。本当ずいぶん遠回りしてみんな結構フラストレーション溜まってったと思うんだけども、そうだな、1日前ぐらいからやっとフィニッシュの感覚が出ましたね。それまでは全然たどり着かなくて、すごく大変でした。
C'était long.
it was
Parce
long,
on a eu
of course.
une dernière partie de course qui était
Most probably
très,
because
très
the end of the
difficile
race was really hard
avec un grand détour.
with,
Et pour moi, en tout cas, c'était vraiment le dernier jour où
but for me it was.
j'ai pu réaliser que
I just
j'allais
I
finir
just had
ce
to wait
tour
the
du
last
monde.
days to realize that I will really finish.
でその気持ち、最後の日気持ちになった、どういう感情が浮きましたか？
いや、そうだな、けどフィニッシュ切るまではほら漁船が多かったんで、すごく緊張してました。でもフィニッシュして、やっぱりみんなの顔見たときはね、すごく嬉しかった。
Non, il y avait beaucoup de bateaux de pêche, il y avait beaucoup
There were lots of fish,
de casiers. C'était assez,
lots of boats,
jusqu'à la ligne d'arrivée, c'était assez chaud. Donc, c'est vrai
stressful.
que
Hard.
j'ai pu enfin réaliser quand
Of course, I
j'ai
realized
vu des têtes familières, mon équipe et
the
je me
face of
suis
all the
senti
family.
un peu mieux à ce moment-là.
I feel better.
Le premier,
I feel better at the end.
un Vendée Globe, la course au large n'est pas forcément très populaire au Japon. Est-ce qu'ils pensent que ça va avoir des répercussions là-bas ou un écho?
日本人初、アジア人初っていうことなんですで、あとは日本ではそんなに概要レースっていうのは、大きくないんですけど、その点について日本でとかアジアで、そのレースって大きくなると思いますか？
そう、まず日本のアジアの人がこのバンデグローブって今まで知らなかったんですよ。でそれが僕が参加することによって、やっぱ一番大きいのは白石浩二郎って検索するとバンデグローブって出てくるのがやっぱ大きく違うかな。これから広がると思います。
Je l'espère. Maintenant, c'est grâce à ce Vendée Globe quand on écrit Kojiro Shiraishi dans une adresse pour Google ou pour les recherches, on voit tout de suite le Vendée Globe
Every time when you
à côté de mon nom.
names,
Donc maintenant que c'est connu, j'espère qu'il y a plus de personnes qui seront intéressées, pourquoi pas participer.
And more people will be interested to make it.
Il devrait donner un mot pour le Vendée Globe. Ça serait quoi?
バンデグローブを例える、一言で言うとどういうふうに例えますか？
僕のね、好奇心を満たしてくれるものですね。
一言。
人生です。僕の人生そのものです。
Ma vie. c'est mon destin.
Vendée Globe, it's my life. It's impossible to sum up it because it's my life.
家族はね、いつも通りです。普通です。普通がすごいんだよ。本当に普通に入るの頑張ってね。いつもと日常と何も変わってない。それがとても幸せなことです。水路に入ってきた時に、いっぱいこう周りにかけていたと思うんですけど、ご覧になっていかなかった。いや、もうあれは僕がバンデグローブで8年ぐらい前にそれを見て絶対出てやると思ったもっと前かな。何年前かのスタートで、今回も、ちょっとコロナだったので、これが本当良かったです。フランスの皆さん。
So just talking to the Japanese media just now.
今はもうしました。完走しましたから。もう何も言いません。今死んでる。
Moi, j'aimerais savoir comment c'était ce Vendée Globe. Est-ce qu'il était plus dur que ce qu'il pensait, moins dur, sachant qu'il a
How hard was it?
今回のそのバンデグローブ、セールが、破れたっていうこともあって、その自分の中で思ってたバンデグローブ、より、難しかったか、それとも、どうでしたか？
はい、こんな番でグローブなんか
Another question in Japanese.
Déjà, la première chose, c'est que j'ai jamais pensé que ce serait un Vendée Globe comme ça.
で、まあ、セール破いた時は本当リタイアも考
I was
えまし
already
た。
thinking about the
本
next.
当はね、あんな状態で
Japanese
世
going
界
to
一
take
周したら
over
いけないんだろ
translation.
うけど、でもチームのみんなが支えてくれて、で、みんなで新しい制度を作り上げて、本当完走できたのは奇跡だと思う。
Et c'est vrai que avec une voile comme ça, surtout
It's true that to have
à
the
ce,
main
à
fin
ce
like
stade
this
de la course,
at this stage of the
c'était
race,
super risqué de
very risky,
faire ce tour du monde.
this round the world.
Mais avec mon équipe, on a
But
créé
with
une
my
voile,
team, we
on
created
a
a sail,
réparé et c'était vraiment
repaired,
top.
and
J'ai
it
cru
was
et
wonderful.
je l'ai cru et on l'a fini. Ouais.
And we were able to.
と最後、でまあこうリタイアをせずに、こう気持ちが乗るためにどこから、力が湧いてきましたか？
それはね、応援してくれた皆さん、チームもそうだし、みんな応援してくれたから、一人じゃ無理でした。
Oui, tout seul, c'est impossible. Tout seul, c'est impossible. C'est vraiment toutes les personnes qui m'ont encouragé, toute l'équipe qui ont été derrière moi pour faire cette réparation. C'était vraiment important et c'était tout ça. Ouais.
It was really important.
誰かさ、どうしよう、誰かナイス
Well, there we go. Shusa and Kojiro Shiraishi coming up the pontoon runner, heading up for the race village. In a few seconds, we should start the press conference for l'ami Câline for Arnaud Boissières. And we're still waiting for a match race between Alan Rura and Stefan Lodorezo going on out there just now. They have about 30 miles to finish and nothing in it between the two of them, only 2-3 miles. And we're finished.